Hey guys, welcome to Stakes Gaming, and today we're going to be covering the update for Worldslayer. Now, Worldslayer's been out for 2 weeks now, and it's safe to say that there have been a few things here and there which have needed to be looked at. So that would cover mass farming of the end boss, and also some bug fixes that need to be looked at, and then finally there's also some Technomancer armor set changes as well, so I think that's a really positive thing. So the reason why the text is so big on here is because I really wanted just to make sure that you're able to read it and you're able to pause the video if you see fit. I don't want to read this entirely to you because that seems pointless and we all have eyes. So let's get into it. I'll cover the key points, my thoughts on it, and yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, firstly, we've got changes to Taya. Now, what they've said here is that people were basically farming the end boss a lot, and they wanted to counteract that without really nerfing the game. So what they've done to reduce that is they've added extra legendary apocalyptic gear into the specific trove areas, but also touching on the loot that you're going to get as well. So if you're farming gloves, you're going to get apocalyptic gloves. I've tested this and I've got 2 confirmed drops, and the rest of them are gloves as well, so I think that's a win. Now, with the final arbiter, we are finding that the choice of the legendary at the end, where you get the choice between 3 items, that remains unaffected, which is great. However, the drop rate is going to be lower for apocalyptic legendaries, as it was on the high side before, and it also made it the reason why it was such an efficient farm. Now, as we move down, we've already covered this anyway. So the reason why they've done this is because if they were to spend the time and the money to fix it as a code-based solution, that would basically be an unviable option. So this really counters it while not having to spend any money on it whatsoever, and also doesn't make it so that they take away the retry system, which was purposely put there in the first place to make the experience better for people with poor connections, or if they just have things that they have to do in life where you have to take a break from the game, those sort of things. So the changes to gear, now this is really good. So the torrential downpour, this is skill life leech to status power, and that's going to happen on the helmet, the upper and lower armor. Now, the really important thing here is that if you currently own pieces of this gear, they are actually unaffected. So what that means is that if you have skill life leech on the attributes there, and you've got an old piece of gear, then that's going to stay the same. So you'll have to refarm anything unless they change that, because I don't know if that's meant to be intended or not, but they've left current armor unaffected. Do with that what you will. The same applies to the Grim Inventor set. So the helmet, upper and lower armor, they all have status power as well. Now, the reason why this is good is because these really mainly benefit from the depleted core node, and having a skill life leech is kind of pointless. So having the status power is really quite good, and it's going to really boost the damage output, which makes it a more viable build moving forward. And do expect to see builds on that in the future. Now, with the Plague Sower set, I was kind of hoping for a bit more. So the main thing they've done is change close range to long range, and again, this kind of has the same issue as the above, which I mentioned, where if you currently own those pieces of gear, then it's not really going to give you much good. You have to refarm those pieces of items, and you're kind of stuck with them the way they are. But in their previous patch notes, they said they were going to add more offensive capabilities with the turrets, so I was unsure as why there wasn't really any sort of update as to that. I'd still like to see something a little bit more than just close range to long range, but that's just my personal opinion. And then finally, we've got some bug fixes. A lot of it you're probably not going to care about, to be honest, but Ereshni Girl not fighting during a boss battle, nah. There's a couple of bug fixes where the Arbiter was getting killed by a bug, basically, and they've fixed that. And then finally, the most important ones are technical performance and making sure the game doesn't crash when exiting, because that's happened to me an awful lot, so I'm really happy about this. So overall, I think this is a good start from Square Enix, and I'm quite excited to play and obviously not crash, especially when I'm exiting the game, because that was a real pain. But I think we're looking really forward to the end of the month update, where we should expect to see, updates such as item locking, potentially an update on the stash size. Haven't had any confirmation about that yet, it's still in testing. And just general quality of life updates, and also really big fixes to builds which are bugged and broken completely, which take away from the game's overall experience. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, appreciate it. If you liked it, smash the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.